If you're proud to have rocked through the greatest eras of music, hit that subscribe button right now. Because if you don't you dare call yourself a true legend of the 70s, 80s, or 90s. Ann Wilson of Heart stunned audiences with her 4-octave range that could shake studios. Alongside her sister Nancy, she broke barriers for women in rock. At 75, her voice remains as powerful as ever. Chrissie Hynde led the Pretenders with fearless energy and sharp attitude, even kicking a biker off stage mid-song. Her tough leather jacket became iconic. At 73, she is forever etched in rock history. David Byrne of Talking Heads turned concerts into art experiments. Once donning an oversized 37-pound suit in Stop Making Sense, he later became an author and urban thinker. At 73, his creativity still knows no limits. Gary Numan brought the future to life with synth anthems like Cars. His fear of flying pushed him to become a pilot with his own fleet. At 67, he's still soaring above music and sky. Geddy Lee of Rush redefined rock performance by singing, playing bass, and handling keyboards all at once. His unique voice and skill inspired generations. At 71, he remains prog rock's ultimate wizard. Ian McCulloch of Echo and the Bunnymen claimed to be the greatest singer alive, and his dramatic style backed it up. His band defined post-punk cool. At 65, his voice still resonates. Jean-Michel Jarre pioneered electronic music with breathtaking outdoor laser shows. His Moscow performance drew 3.5 million people, setting records. At 77, he continues to dazzle the world. Jeff Lynne of ELO created symphonic rock masterpieces with obsessive studio perfection. He even helped the Beatles reunite through production. At 77, he remains a master of melody and sound. Jimmy Page built Led Zeppelin's legendary sound with fiery guitar riffs and haunting solos. Stairway to Heaven remains his eternal masterpiece. Now 81, he is still hailed as the ultimate guitar god. John Entwistle, known as the Ox of The Who, stood stoic on stage while playing bass lines of astonishing complexity. His style became the standard for music schools. He passed in 2002, but his influence remains timeless. Kate Bush was the ethereal songbird of Wuthering Heights, blending theatrical artistry with haunting vocals. Her rare stage appearances became legendary, selling out in minutes. Today at 66, she remains one of music's most mysterious icons. Klaus Schulze was the ambient pioneer who performed marathon 8-hour concerts of pure soundscapes. His vast synthesizer collection shaped electronic music's future. He passed in 2022, but his influence is eternal. Mark Bolan of T-Rex glittered in platform boots and rhinestones, inspiring glam rock itself. His life ended tragically at 29, but his flamboyant style and songs live forever. Morrissey, frontman of the Smiths, turned melancholy into unforgettable lyrics. His vegetarian stance shaped a generation. At 66, his presence remains as controversial as it is influential. Noddy Holder of Slade lit up glam rock with his mirrored top hat and booming voice. His Christmas anthem still dominates the holidays. At 78, his music continues to sparkle every December. Patti Smith proved that poetry could roar like punk, earning her the title Punk's Poet Laureate. Her collaboration with Bruce Springsteen created the classic Because the Night. At 78, she is still a voice of rebellion and art. Ralph Hutter of Kraftwerk foresaw the digital age with robotic stage performances and futuristic sounds. His work inspired electronic music as we know it. At 79, his vision continues to echo in every beat. Rick Wakeman dazzled audiences in Yes with his flowing capes and mastery of 6 keyboards at once. His shows were as theatrical as they were musical. At 76, he remains prog rock's flamboyant genius. Ritchie Blackmore fueled Deep Purple and Rainbow with fiery guitar solos and unpredictable temper. He smashed guitars and set amps ablaze mid-show. At 80, he is remembered as one of rock's fiercest performers. Robert Palmer exuded suave sophistication with hits like Addicted to Love, forever remembered for its mannequin-like models. He spoke 7 languages fluently. He passed in 2003, leaving behind a unique global legacy. Roger Daltrey of The Who brought raw power to rock, famous for his screams and whirling microphones. He once led the loudest concert ever recorded. Now 81, he still stands as rock royalty. Simon Le Bon fronted Duran Duran with charm, fashion, and anthems of the MTV era. Offstage, he raced yachts around the globe. At 67, he continues to balance music and adventure. Suxa Sue brought gothic style to music with striking makeup and daring stagwear. Her influence stretched far beyond her songs. At 68, she remains a trailblazer for dark, alternative artistry. Steve Howe of Yes was a guitar pioneer who blended rock, country, and classical into seamless performances. His collection boasts over 300 instruments. At 78, he's still considered one of rock's greatest players. Steve Vai wowed fans with technical solos that blended art and sheer speed. He even played guitar with his teeth before it was a gimmick. At 65, he is still a living guitar legend. Tina Turner was the unstoppable queen of rock, commanding stages with power and grace. Her comeback at 45 sold more than her entire early catalog. Though she passed in 2023, her legacy burns brighter than ever. Tom Jones set hearts racing with hip-shaking performances once deemed too provocative for TV. Fans famously showered him with tens of thousands of undergarments. At 85, he remains a magnetic entertainer. Toya Wilcox became the punk princess with rainbow hair and boundless energy. She balanced a music career with acting in over 20 films. At 66, she still performs with fearless passion. Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails turned industrial rock into a haunting, powerful force. Later, he became an Oscar-winning film composer. At 60, he bridges the worlds of rock and cinema. Vince Clarke shaped synthpop by founding Depeche Mode, Yazoo, and Erasure before turning 30. He still prefers vintage machines over modern tech. At 64, he remains an innovator of electronic sound.